Hi, I'm Todd Henderson. I want to show you how to install the Ionic 5-inch oval step on this 2009 to 2013 body style Ram crew cab. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're starting with the driver's side front location. This is just behind the front tire. What we're going to have is an oval shaped hole in the top of the rocker with a couple of smaller holes down below it. Now that oval shaped hole might be covered up with some tape. If it is, just peel that away to expose that. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to find our nut plate. It's got a bolt on one side and a welded nut on the other. We're going to take our bolt retainer, we're going to slide it over top of that bolt, about like so. And we're going to take that bolt and we're going to thread the plate into the rocker panel to where it can drop down in place. Now we're going to hold that and spin the retainer until it gets nice and tight up against the rocker panel. What we're going to want to do is we're going to rotate the bolt plate to where the welded nut is directly behind this rear hole. So this is our driver's side front bracket. It's labeled in the bag, driver's side front. What we're going to do is we're going to hang it right on this large bolt plate that's hanging out. We've got a large washer, we've got a large lock washer, and then also a large nut. And you want to make sure you use the large hardware on this bolt. This bolt down here actually requires smaller hardware. Don't get that mixed up or you'll be frustrated later. Here what we're going to use, this is a 10mm bolt, and we're going to use the smaller hardware on this. We've got the lock washer going through the washer and then going through the nut plate. And we're going to thread that in hand tight. Now if this was a threaded hole that was already there, that actually takes a different size bolt. So you'll notice you've got some different size bolts in your kit. They look kind of like this right here. If you had threaded holes, this is the bolt you would use with the same hardware. All right, so we're going back to our next factory mounting location. It's right next to the next body mount bolt coming out. And again, we're going to take our bolt plate, same way with the retainer, slip it into the rocker panel, tighten that up. We're going to find our driver's side center bracket labeled in the bag. We're going to line that up in place. Use the provided larger hardware for the top bolt. We're just getting this hand tight. And also the provided hardware for the bottom in the nut plate. And again, if you have threaded nuts, you want to use the smaller bolt. All right, now your rear location is all the way to the very back of the cab. Is right underneath where your rear body mount bolt is. Again, it's probably going to be covered up with tape unless you've had running boards there in the past. Peel the tape away. Use that oval hole. Same way as the last two brackets, we're going to put that bolt plate in place. And just like the last two brackets, we're going to use the rearmost hole below it. We're going to locate our rear driver's side bracket labeled in the bag. Large washer, large lock washer, and the nut. And then the provided hardware for the bottom as well. And just like the first two, if you've got factory threaded holes, you'll use that smaller bolt. Okay, now we found the driver's side bar. The way you can identify quickest what driver's side bar is the holes in the back of the board are towards the very end. The holes in the front of the board are more inset to the board. So what we're going to do is we're going to locate also a rubber pad that goes in between the bracket and the bar. Line the bar up to the bracket. And then in a separate hardware kit, you're going to have an Allen head bolt plus a lock washer and a flat washer. We're going to go ahead and get that threaded in there loosely, hold it in place. We're going to make sure all of our bolt holes are lined up and set those in place just very loosely for right now. Now we have the bar lined up to the brackets. We're going to go ahead and take a 6mm Allen head and we are going to tighten down the bar to the brackets. right, now with the brackets tightened down to the boards, we're going to go ahead and tighten the brackets to the body. The top bolt, we're using 19 millimeter. And the bottom, we're going to use a 17 millimeter. Now, if we had the threaded hole at this point, we'd be using a 14 millimeter to put this bolt in, and we're just going to go ahead and tighten down all the brackets, repeat the entire process on the opposite side as well. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.